Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would talk about using cream products in makeup. As we roll into spring and summer, I know a lot of brands are going to be bringing out cream-based products, and I just think for some people they're going to be a little bit not scary is the wrong word, and if you just don't get them, you're just not going to, I think, reap the benefits. And I was definitely one of those people that didn't get cream products, and I just always used like powders. But recently I've definitely been loving and finding a purpose for cream products because I do think they can be really nice. Yeah, I thought I would share with you my bare face, me putting on this makeup look, which is using mainly actually all cream products. So here's me with a bare face talking about cream products now. I thought I'd zoom you guys in a little bit, you lucky things. Okay, first of all, we're going to tackle foundation. And the majority of foundations are a liquid texture, so I thought I'd pick one which is sort of more of a harder cream, and I've chosen the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation Stick. This is very much similar to the cream foundations that you can find in compacts, but just in a stick form. It's just like drawing on your face with an even bigger concealer. Yeah, I really like this stuff. I'm almost out. But yeah, I think this is a great foundation if you're somebody that goes to the gym in the morning. I'm envious of you if you can be bothered to do stuff like that. You can even blend it in with your fingers, you don't have to use a brush. I'm gonna grab a mirror real quick. Cool, next up I'm going to move on to concealer. This one's in a compact and is by Soap & Glory. This is the Kick-Ass Concealer, and it also comes with a powder in the top, which I think is, again, another great product which is great for sort of travelling. But this has two shades of concealer in, one for under your eyes, the salmon one, and the sort of more yellow toned one to go over blemishes. And it has a cute little mirror too. So I'm just going to chuck that under my eyes, and just for any spots. Got quite a bit of a spotty chin at the moment. Actually, the foundation's done a pretty good job. What's also great about that foundation is if you don't even want to carry concealer around, just like I suppose any foundation, you can just go over it and use it as a concealer too. I mean, I know you can do that with any sort of foundation, but sort of the stick format just makes it easier, I suppose. Shall I do eyebrows or shall I do... I'm going to do eyebrows. Now, I think this is where it gets complicated, and I'm just going to move my fringe out the way and look really cute. I am going to be using the Anastacia Dip Brow Pomade. Now I feel like this not necessarily divides people. It's either you use it and you get it and you love it, or you don't get it, so therefore you don't use it. I'm still kind of in the don't really get it camp. Not that I haven't used sort of like products like this on my brow, it's just this is very pigment dense. So can look a little scary on the brows. I watched a brow tutorial by Hey Claire or Claire Marshall, which I'm going to link down below, where she sort of shows how she uses it, and she uses it with brush cleaner on her brush, which for the life of me I can't find my sort of on the spot brush cleaner, but I do have Fix Plus. So this is where things can go horribly wrong or where things go horribly right. So we shall give it a go. So I've just sprayed my brush. I'm also taking some off of the back of my hand as well, just so the brush is like coated but not overly coated. And then I think this is a product that if you're really meticulous about your brows, or have a lot of time, I suppose, to do makeup in the morning, this would be great. But I just pick some up again from the back of my hand, which is sort of where I mixed it with Fix Plus. This is my trouble brow. The thing with this product is it's actually a very, very similar colour to my natural brow. So, and I have quite dark brows, so I feel like that's, I suppose, quite scary for me that I'm not just going rah and drawing it on, because I have done that with this product before and I've gone, hang on, that doesn't look quite right. Cool, so everything's sort of like dried. I'm sort of like halfway through doing this brow. As you can see, there is like a great difference between them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this again. Give it a bit of a shake. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm like coating both sort of sides and then taking it on my hand and sort of taking off the excess. So the brush is evenly coated but not, it hasn't got tons of product on it. Right guys, after a quick battery change, all I've done is I've evened out my eyebrows using the Dip Brow Fix Plus. I've also gone around them slightly with just eye makeup remover on a cotton bud, and you're up to date. I've also got another Anastacia product. This is a cream sort of concealer stick. This is called their Pro Pencil, which is their eyeshadow primer and colour corrector. And I'm just going to go underneath my eyebrow with these just to sharpen it up a little bit more. I'm just going to use another cotton bud, to be honest, just to blend that in, because it's one less dirty brush. The only issue I have with this Pro Pencil is it's a little dark for my skin. So it's not a sort of, hasn't got that much of a highlighting effect on me necessarily. But I suppose it makes it look maybe a little bit more natural than having like a big beam of highlight right underneath and around my brow. Right, awesome. Cool, now I'm going to move on to eyes. Now with eyes there are a bunch of cream products, and I think they're the most widely understood cream product. I've got a couple here. There's this type of one which is like an eye paint. This is from Rimmel, and it sort of comes with a little wand like this, and it's sort of like a furry wand, and you can sort of blend it over the top, and you can blend it in either with your finger or with a brush. And then there's the typical MAC paint pot. This is just sort of a cream eyeshadow, which is like a hard cream, which you can just stick your finger in and blend in, or I suppose you could use a brush too. But the two that I'm going to use today are the By Terry Ombre Blackstar. This is in number 5 Misty Rock, and this is a sort of twist up pencil one where you can get so many eyeshadow sticks like this now at the drugstore or whatever, but I really like this one by Terry. And then I've also got this here by Max Factor, which is their Excess Shimmer. It's a much more of a moussey texture. So if you crossed these two together, this is sort of what you'd get. I'm going to start off with the Excess Shimmer. This is in the shade Copper, by the way, although as you can see, it's not very coppery. But I'm going to start off with that one, and I'm just going to pop that all over my lid, just using my finger, and no tools at all. This colour itself is actually fairly close to my skin tone. It doesn't matter so much. If I was to use one of the darker colours, I would probably go around the edge with a brush. But this one is just sort of good base, which I can blend in with my finger, no problem. I'm going to move on to my stick shadow. This is by, as I said, by Terry, and this one is beautiful. But I am going to be using initially my finger with this, but then I am going to blend it out with a brush. So I'm sort of running it along the lash line, then I'm building the colour sort of up into sort of like an outer V, and then through the crease. Just using the stick itself. And then I've got a bit on my finger, but I think I will take it a little bit myself. On like that, and then same on the other side. And then I'm just going to take a big old fluffy brush. This one's by Smashbox. I'm just going to run that over everything, just to make sure that it is indeed blended. I'm just going to take this pencil, which is just a dark brown, and I'm just going to run that again through my bottom lashes mainly, just to sort of define my eyes a little bit more. Cool, I'm just going to curl my lashes and pop on some mascara, and I'll be right back. Now I'm done with my eyes, I'm going to go back to my complexion. Now I think cream blushes are fairly well known, but I'm actually going to be using a cream contour today, in the form of Illamasqua's Hollow Pigment, which looks a little bit like this. I'm positive that Illamasqua will cater for darker skin tones, but I don't think if you're all that much darker than me that this would be a good option. However, if you are pale like I am, this is a fantastic option. So I'm also going to be using, this is the Real Technique sculpting brush. As you may be able to see, it's very similar to a foundation brush, like a buffing foundation brush. And I think that's why I think this brush is quite good for cream contour. It's also good for powder, but I think because it's sort of got that sort of density but fluffiness to it, it's good at buffing in the product, so you don't sort of have a stripe on your face, which nobody really wants, do they? So it's very similar to a standard contour. Just find your cheeks, and I sort of like buff it a little bit like this. But I will show you another little technique on the other cheek. So that's just sort of how I'd use it normally, but then another way you can do it is you can get the side of your thumb, rub it in the side of the contour if you have a bit of issue finding where your cheekbone is, and then you can just sort of draw it in like that and then buff it in rather than going straight in if that bothers you. That's another way to do it. So either way, they both work. I've also got a cream bronzer. This is a NARS Matte Multiple and this is in the colour Altai. It's basically the lightest one. Pop that wherever, and again, just blend it in. I'm going to use the same sculpting brush. Next up, I'm going to use some cream highlighter. This is by MAC and this is the cream colour base in Luna. I'm loving this at the moment, and I'm just going to use that as you normally would on the tops of your cheeks and wherever you want. I might actually put a bit of this under my brow bone as well. Again, similarly to the hollow pigment, I don't know how well that would translate on skin tones much darker than mine, because as you can see, this is like white. So I don't know if it'd look a bit too much, but on me, like, it gives a real kick of sheen, and I think it looks quite nice on my skin tone, if you were to ask me. And last but not least, I'm going to use a cream blusher. This is by Bourjois. One that I would really like to try actually is the Daniel Sandler one, which is like a watercolour blush, which is just like water, and I think that would look really nice on the skin. And also I'm going to be using the buffing brush by Real Techniques, just because it fits so well into the pan, and again, similarly to the sculpting brush, it's like a foundation brush, so it just buffs in the product. I'm also taking some off on the back of my hand. Another great brush to use would be like a stippling brush as well, if you're a bit scared about being heavy-handed. If ever in fear, just take your foundation brush and just buff it away. Buff your troubles away. And I'm also going to finish it off with a lipstick. This is by Charlotte Tilbury and this is Lost Cherry, which I just think will go quite nicely with the blush. I hope I didn't baffle you anymore about cream products with that. I hope it helped you out a little bit. But thanks so much for watching, and I shall see you guys soon. Bye guys! Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a haul slash what